as I've had time to reflect on the proposed, so there's two proposed rules that we're waiting on, to finalize, and that becomes the program. Um, so the one that they put out middle of August was really the contract clauses that we're going to see in our contracts. And as I've been kind of thinking about it, discussing it with clients, um, I'm really kind of disappointed in the lack of flexibility that the DoD afforded themselves. The way it reads and the way it's structured is the contracting officer will specify for this contract, you need to be this level, and it almost reads or sounds like there's going to be like literally like a checkbox, like, oh, this one's going to be level 3, check. This one's going to be level 2 with the C3PAO assessment, check, or level 2 self-assessment, or level 1. Where I think that's a problem. So it's great that they're going to tell us, right? We need to know what level's appropriate for what contract. But what scares me a little bit is most contracts um, are not uniform in the standpoint of who's going to access CUI, right? So if I have a contract to provide base related services, running of a base for a Army or Navy or whatever, there's going to be certain parts of that contract that I'm involved in the strategic planning and the coordination, and I'm going to have access to information about troop movements or things like that totally is CUI, and no doubt about it. But there's probably other parts of that contract that are like janitorial services and like mowing the grass and like things like that. And so when I go to sub out portions of that contract to people, well, it feels strange to me that I'm going to be sending them a contract that says to perform on this contract, you need to be level 2 C3PAO certified. And all I'm asking them to do is, janitorial services. Boy, that feels clumsy. Like it would have been way better if the DoD had allowed maybe a contracting officer to say, like, contract line item number 1, where we're talking about strategic direction and plans for the base, that's got to be at this level. And, the janitorial and, lawn mowing services, like that contract line item number 2 is going to be level 1. Like, but they didn't really do that. And so what I fear, or what I would suggest to you all, is I think this is going to continue to create the problem that more and more of the primes they're not going to stick their neck out, right? The prime's going to say, oh, well, it says you have to be level 2 certified. I guess I got to tell the lawn mowing company to be level 2 certified. And it seems, it's laughable. It's crazy, right? Like which lawn mowing service would be capable of being CMMC certified? Probably not many. But boy, it just feels like they're kind of making the situation worse, right? There's already going to be a challenge of, are there enough assessors to meet the demand of all the companies that are going to need to get certified? And if you're clumsy and force the lawn mowing and janitorial services businesses to need to get certified, that only makes the problem worse. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll, it's a proposed rule. Public comments are still open. So hopefully, open for maybe another day, I think, because it came out on like the 15th, and no. So we got another month. So middle October, because I have 60 days. But yeah, so hopefully somebody makes some comments about that. Hopefully they take that to heart and they fix it. But if what they put forward, it's going to be pretty clumsy. So that's kind of the thing that stands out the most. The rest of it was fairly perfunctory. They have to tell you, and you have to obtain whatever they tell you to get the contract. So the clause pretty much says that. But so I guess that's maybe it. Otherwise, we're all waiting, see when things go final and get published. But happy to take questions. Yeah. So I don't know,
Yeah.
Jason, how you want to handle that? You want them just raise their hand, or?
Yeah, just raise your hand if you have questions. Again, I kind of